I'm working in textile archaeology, and what everyone thinks but no one would dare to speak out is, what the hell is textile archaeology? And so what are the aims, the methods, the aspects of research? And I want to give here a very short overview. First, how do textiles from archaeological contexts look like? They can be colorful, elastic, like the textiles from the salt mines, Jorabat, Dürnberg, or Hallstatt, of course. Or they can be very ugly items attached, mineralized onto metal artifacts and graves. And of course, textile archaeology is interdisciplinary. There is an interdisciplinary approach, combination with ethnography, archaeology, botany, epigraphy, art history, but also psychology and all of the other things, semiotic studies, and also forensics, for example. We want to understand, for example, the taphonomic processes in graves and their timing. What happens between the burial and the excavation? How do organics decay and sometimes preserve? What are the mechanisms behind? And this is very interesting for our interpretations. Together with the forensics, we also think of that kind of tests, cremation experiments. This is really great fun. We do it to understand more on the evidence in cremation graves. Do textiles on the pyre can survive the fire? Can they end up in the grave at the end and then found by the archaeologists? Yes, they can. And then we work with data mining. We need big data to understand all of the stuff. And we are concentrating on Neolithic till early modern, probably from the 6th millennium before Christ to 1500 Common Era in Europe and abroad. We are studying the textiles themselves, the qualities. We use the SEM for fibers, it's a standard procedure, and also more natural sciences, dust analysis, of course, isotopic tracing, C14, ADNA, whatever we can do in cooperation with specialized labs, of course. And the context analysis is the clue to get more information. And then we have a big bundle of different research aims that we can follow. We want to understand the development of textile techniques, especially in the time between the Neolithic and the Roman period. And also the spinning and the weaving and the sewing techniques are interesting for us. All of the how design evolves, what happens there, and when and where things have been invented. This is really a clue. And for that, experimental archaeology is very important for our understanding of technological details, but also of time consumption and the resources that are needed. And all of that gets even new dimensions by involving new technical possibilities. For example, motion capturing. We use it for visualization, but also for the analysis of our working processes. And one of the research aims are the studies of textile design through the ages, handcraft skills, creativity. Their textile production and creativity 800 to 400 BC in Central Europe. And here I visualized it as a design mood board. I deliberately choose here a medium that is also used in modern fashion design. The studies mentioned above are just the basic to look at the economic aspects. What influence did textile production have on economics and trade in a certain period and time frame? What are the modes of production? Household, workshops, specialization, mass production. And there are different textile products on different stages of the chaîne opératoire: yarn, cloth, tailored garments. Who produced what, for whom, and what are the required resources and production sites? And what has been the socio-economic framework that innovations have been possible and welcome? And also, who are the consumers of certain textile products? And this brings me to the social aspects of textiles, the status, the representation, and research on clothing with the implications for the society. Just as a case study, what is the visuality of textiles? Usually, when we are working with graves ensembles, of course, the focus is on the bronze artifacts. But can textiles add visual complexity to show status as well? Here, for example, Middle Bronze Age grave. It is from Winklan in Lower Austria. And of course, if you are look just on the metal artifacts in the graves, the focus is only on the chest area. But if we add contemporary textile embroidery, for example, the find from Irgenhausen, arranged like on the figurines from Klitschewac, we are here in the Bronze Age, 1500 BC. And so we have a really distinctive visual appearance. And at least some words on the functional aspects of textiles. I cannot present this in detail, but textiles, of course, had different functions. And we have a lot of archaeological evidence for that from prehistoric Europe, as garments, as basic commodities. For example, as wall hangings, pillows, as linings for swords, but also wrappings in graves. And very important, we see aspects of recycling. And so we really get archaeology, bring archaeological textile research together with the needs of modern societies, the SDGs. Textile production was very time consuming back then, and careful handling of resources, but also products have been important. And so the reused, recycling, upcycling, they really did it. I showed here textiles from Saltmann-Hallstatt, 2,500 years old. And such archaeological textile research is very diverse, and it helps to understand the impact of textiles in the history of humankind. Thank you for your attention.